started. So on behalf of the DAISY Committee, we're here for a very exciting event. We're going to give our very first Nurse Manager Award through the DAISY Foundation. As many of you have known, we've given the Nurse DAISY Award honoree. And then we got the question of, why can't we recognize leaders? And we're like, that's a great idea because everybody gives compassionate care at the bedside. So we reached out to DAISY Foundation and we were able to pull this off. So this is our very first recognition. And what this award represents is maybe a person that isn't at the bedside all of the time, but they have that commitment to make their environment full of respect, compassion, and trust. So the family joined us today to share their special story that was very heartwarming and touching. So I would like to now announce our very first DAISY Nurse Manager Award to LaBombard. Congratulations. And then Ashley is going to share a wonderful story with us today.
I'm gonna cry, I'm sorry. Leanne has been such a helpful, kind, and above all else, caring demeanor about her. Her calming presence was what my family needed.
Let us know if you need help.
During a difficult time in our lives. On the morning of June 15th, last year, I had gotten the call that no one ever wants to get. My grandfather, Bob Rolfe's grandpa, had been admitted to the hospital overnight and was not expected to make it. When I got the call to the hospital, I was screened and told that there could only be a certain number of visitors allowed on the floor and in the room. There was already some family members ahead of me, not knowing who was already at the hospital aside from my mom and aunt. I went on anyways. When I got to his room, my grandfather was alone, aside from two other nurses. I took my turn and then realized there were two more people in the hall. I then went on to find my mom and my aunt, who had been with my grandpa when he was brought in overnight. I found them in the hall beside the emergency room, as that was open, the only place open when they came in. Our family is quite large. My grandparents had 4 children, my mom and my aunt being 2 of them, 12 grandchildren, my sister and I, so there were 10 others. So you can imagine that we can be quite the crowd when gathered. As the family started to arrive, we started to take up space in the entrance beside the emergency room. Obviously, this wasn't a great spot for a larger family to gather. There were people in and out for various reasons. There was no privacy. I realized that we could have gone to the main lobby. However, that was not where my grandfather nor I wanted to be. I went to the check-in screening ladies to ask if there was something that could be done to get us as a family closer to my grandfather. The last thing that I wanted was for him to be alone during his final hours. I realized that there are protocols and rules for a reason. All I wanted was for my grandfather to not be alone. A call was made, and I was told that a patient advocate would soon be down to speak with us. This is where Leanne came in. Leanne came down to the emergency entrance to speak with me, not long after the initial phone call was made. I explained that my grandfather was in his final hours. We were waiting for a family member to come from New Hampshire. Above anything else, we as a family would just like to be closer to our grandfather, father, great-grandfather. Leanne said she was going to go up to the floor and speak with the doctor to get filled in and find out what the plan was. A short time later, Leanne came down and found me. Leanne was able to open up the solarium for us, which up until that point had been closed due to COVID for protocols. Leanne went up to the floor with us and made sure that we were settled and as close to my grandfather's room as we could be. Leanne had a comfort cart sent up for us and was sure to follow throughout the morning to make sure that we as a family had everything that we needed. I am, and forever will be, grateful to Leanne for everything that she did for our family. I'm grateful that Leanne made it so that we didn't have to walk. We didn't have to go for a long walk and an elevator ride just to be with my grandpa during his final time with us. I am thankful that Leanne took the time out of her day to continue to check in with our family throughout the morning while we were here. Leanne was a comfort to us during a very sad time. Everyone that has ever met Grandpa, Bob Rolfs, has a memory of him, as I'm sure most of you do too. From visiting him at Rolfs to kids taking to the pumpkin patch to pick pumpkins and apples, I think that the community would be very happy and thankful to know that Leanne made it possible for our grandpa, father, great-grandfather, to have his family with him during his final time on Earth. Thank you.
Thank you. So thank you for sharing that story. And before everyone got here, we were sharing stories of Mr. Rolf, and I have my own personal one. So he's touched so many people within the community. So thank you for coming to share. And I don't think he would have wanted any other day to kind of celebrate. So he made it perfect. Sunshine and it's fall, right?
Yes,
So,
perfect.
So thank you. Now with your certificate, you also get a sculpture. It's called the Healing Touch, and it symbolizes what a nurse has with a patient, but as you can see, family as well. You get to have a daisy pin, and there's a whole bunch of goodies within your bag. So thank you so much. And there's a banner too you get to kind of hang and celebrate with. So nobody run away, because we'll need to get a group picture and then a family picture, and then you'll have some solo pictures for Brian. Thank you everyone for attending today.